Hello and welcome back. Today's video is about a tattoo artist who has her own tattoo studio. She's got 11 plus years of tattoo experience, which seems to be questionable in some people's minds because of the types of tattoos that she produces. We'll talk more on that later. And her name is Ariel de Jesus. She has become pretty famous on TikTok, but it's not really for positive reasons. I mean, don't get me wrong, she gets hundreds of thousands of views on her videos and she does have nearly 500,000 followers. And to be honest, that's a lot of people who could potentially watch her content, and plus all of those on the For You page which will stumble across it. This is going to be my first time covering this tattooist Ariel, but I'm pretty sure it won't be the last. To be honest, when I first came across her account, I didn't see any problems with it. It just seemed like a normal TikTok account with a tattooist who was showcasing her work. But it wasn't until I dug a bit deeper that I came across the issues. So without further ado, let's address what I found. Begin with how wrong that is. Obviously, that's just my opinion, but I feel that video is extremely disturbing. We can see there Ariel is being tattooed in her studio by her daughter, who is, I believe, either 11 or 12 years old. And I would have thought that there are laws about that, even in Texas where they live. Surely you would have to be 18 to tattoo somebody, wouldn't you? I can see the comments. Yeah, she's doing it in her mum's tattoo studio. There's nobody else there and she's doing it on her mum, which is fine. But the problem is, she doesn't only do it on her mum. There are other videos out there where you can see Ariel's daughter tattooing clients in the shop. Would you let a 12-year-old tattoo you? Because I certainly wouldn't. There are so many things that can go wrong when you are in charge of a tattoo gun. What about cross contamination? What about if she accidentally tattooed herself after using the gun on someone else? It's very rare for that to happen in a tattoo studio with a professional, but I'm not so sure the statistics are so good when a child is doing it. So this is problem one with the tattoo artist. Let's have a look at problem number two.
I would have copy and pasted that fox for $100.
And there we have Ariel openly admitting that she would have copied and pasted that fox and tattooed it for the person for $100. As a tattoo artist, generally you make your own designs, or at least if you are brought a design that has been done by somebody else, then you modify it in ways to make it your own. You do not just copy and paste other people's work. And if you do that, then you should shout them out and give them the credit. But Ariel doesn't do any of that. No, she just copies and pastes it and tattoos it on people. That's not very good, is it? Not very honest, in my opinion. Let's have a look at problem number 3.
Hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes.
I need to point out something deeply concerning and alarming about this tattoo setup. Look at how the machine and its grip is undeniably sitting on and making contact with a filthy, ink-stained, contaminated surface. Because of course that's not just ink, that is ink that is contaminated with the blood and plasma of the previous clients. Clients who could be positive for HIV, hepatitis, they could carry a staph infection, which is what could be contaminating this surface, which has now contaminated the grip. When she picks that up, her gloved hand is now contaminated, which will then be touching the open tattoo of the client, putting them at risk of contracting anything that could be on this surface, hepatitis, HIV, staph, etc. I know her tattoos are cheap and sometimes free, but it's not worth the risk.
Being a tattoo artist with experience of 10 plus years and having your own tattoo studio comes with responsibilities. And the most important one is the cleanliness of the place that you are tattooing people. For instance, you wouldn't just walk into someone's home or their garage and get a tattoo done, would you? Well, I hope you wouldn't. Like that lady just said in the Stitch video, she has pointed out so many reasons why that is so important. And when you are training to be a tattooist, one of the things that you are trained in is hygiene and cross contamination. And it's because it is vitally important that you do not get any other person's bodily fluids onto anybody else, because you do not know if they have got any medical conditions or not. And to be honest, even if they haven't, it would be like sharing somebody else's needle. That is not something you are ever going to do, is it? Right, now let's have a look at problem number 4. Ariel's philosophy is that she is not like any other tattoo artist, that she has her own style and way of doing things. And many in the tattoo industry just don't agree with her. If you go to her TikTok, you will see lots of examples of tattoos that only took her 1 hour to complete. And in most cases, other tattooists have said that it would have taken all day or at least a couple of sessions to complete what she does. So quick is not always better because you don't get such a good quality tattoo. There seems to be not much symmetry in our tattoos, and we can see a couple of examples of that. But that in the woods there is totally irresponsible, in my opinion. How are the woods sterile? And why? Why on earth would you think it's a good idea to go out into the woods and do a tattoo? I mean, the guy sitting there is not going to be very comfortable on that chair. She's not in a very good position where she's tattooing. I mean, what if she slipped and fell and tattoo gun goes somewhere it's not supposed to go? I mean, the amount of things that could honestly go wrong in that situation is not even worth thinking about. It's totally mind boggling to me why she would do that. And not only that, but there are animals out there. What if one ran into her or ran past her and scared her? What could happen to the tattoo gun then? Don't animals pee and poop in the woods? Yes, of course they do. Animals have bodily functions just like humans. So I have to ask again, why on earth would you do something so stupid as to tattoo there? Last point I'm going to make is that, in my opinion, I think Ariel is actually a nice person, maybe just a little bit misguided. She thinks that if she does 10 tattoos a day for $100, that she's going to earn more money. But that is actually damaging her reputation, in my opinion. It would be far better to do 2 or 3 tattoos a day that are done properly and are charged at the correct rate. I mean, I understand that she lives in an area where people can't afford tattoos, so she does them really cheap. But at the end of the day, a tattoo is for life. It's not something you should do on the cheap. I'm just hoping and praying that nothing serious ever occurs with any of her clients or herself, to be honest, because she does tattoo herself at home, which is not something you should be putting in your videos and putting on TikTok, in my opinion. But hey, she's her own person at the end of the day. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Ta-ta for now.